Hello, and welcome to the next part of the Pocketful of Poems program. At this point, you should have completed the title page, the What Bugs Me page, which has two separate poems, and the picture poem page. We are now moving on to the descriptive poetry page. So if you have not finished any of those other pages ahead of what we're doing now, please stop the video here and go back to the previous assignments so that you can get caught up before moving on to today's assignment. So descriptive poetry, if you look at page 3, has two separate poems. We are only going to be working on this first poem today. We'll address the second poem in our next class. So for this one, we're first going to talk about using something called a thesaurus. And if you don't know what a thesaurus is, it is a resource that you use often when you're writing that will help you find different words that mean the same thing. And it's really important when you're writing or when you're writing poetry that you're picking just the right words, because your job as a writer is to paint a picture in your reader's mind. So if I say that Miss Maytag walks across the room, that's a much different picture than saying Miss Maytag trudges across the room, or Miss Maytag stomps across the room, or Miss Maytag skips across the room. All those words mean moving from one point to another point, but what you see in your head with each of those words is very different. So if we're looking for better words, more descriptive words, and maybe you're having a hard time thinking of them, a really nice tool that you can find in Google Docs built right in is the thesaurus. So the first thing we're going to do is click on the word fast, because this is the word we're going to do first, and you're going to come up here to where it says tools. And down from tools, you're going to actually come down to the dictionary, but we're going to be able to look at some synonyms and antonyms within the dictionary itself. So before I move forward, I would like you to make sure that you have Pocketful of Poems open. Click your cursor so you're on top of the word fast, and then open up the dictionary by clicking Tools and Dictionary. Go ahead, do that now, and then come back to the video. Okay, good. So what you should see now is that the word fast has all of these different synonyms. Now, here's the thing that you need to worry about. We know that words have more than one definition. They can mean more than one thing. So you want to make sure that you're picking a word that fits the definition. So if we're talking about computers, this poem says computers, keyboard, mouse, monitor, tower, fast, fun, and useful. In this sense, with the word fast, we want to mean that it's moving quickly. It's at a high speed. So this is where we're looking for our synonyms. We don't want to look something here where it says firmly fixed or attached. He made a rope fast to each corner. That's not what we mean in this sense. We don't mean that we're attaching two things together. We mean that it's moving quickly. So we're finding the definition first that fits what we're doing. And now we can use any of these blue words: speedy, quick, swift, rapid, brisk, nimble, sprightly. All of these words are synonyms or words that mean the same for the word fast. You don't want to use an antonym. Antonyms are opposites. So see how they say slow? The opposite of fast is slow. That's not what we want. We want a word that means about the same. So what you're going to do is look through this list of words, and you're going to decide which one you like. And for me, I'm going to choose speedy. I like the word speedy. And then you're going to come over and double click on the word fast to highlight it, and then type the new word in its spot. So I'm typing speedy. So go ahead and go do that now in your document. Find a word you like, highlight fast, double click it, change the word, and then come back here. Okay, good. So now if you notice, the word fun and useful and happy and computer are all bold. So bold is this B button here. That means that it's darker than all the others. It makes it stand out. So these are all the words that you need to now go and change using this thesaurus. So if we're looking for the next word fun, I'm going to come over here to where fast is, and I'm going to type the word fun instead and hit enter. And now same thing. I'm going to look for the definition that makes the most sense. So I'm going to say here, this is an adjective, right? It's describing a computer: amusing, entertaining, or enjoyable. And I'm going to pick one of these words that I like for fun. So I'm going to do entertaining because I definitely find my computer entertaining, and that's something that is similar. So what I'm going to have you do now is take a minute, go back to your document, and I want you to change speedy, entertaining, useful, happy, and computer. Change them all to a new word. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, so at this point, you should have changed all of these words. You can say, I didn't do these because I want to see what you pick, but you should change useful, happy, and computer too using the thesaurus or the dictionary with the synonyms, okay? So now I'm going to close this once you have all your words changed, and now you're going to format the font and insert a picture of a computer, right? So in order to format the font, we know we have to highlight first, highlighting everything that you want to change. You always pick your font to start. So I'm going to pick a font. I'm going to pick a size that I like. Let's say 30 maybe. Oh, that's way too big. Okay, so let's try 18. That's more reasonable. All right, now notice these words are still bold. You can leave them bold if you want to. If you don't want to leave them bold, to get rid of it, you're going to bold everything by clicking the bold and then click bold again, and that'll get rid of all of it. So that's kind of a quick way to erase everything. So I picked my font, I picked my size, I got rid of bold because I didn't want it. And now I'm going to pick a color that I like this teal color. And then I want to click off before I put in the picture. If I leave that highlighted and I insert the picture, it's going to erase all the words and then put the picture in. So you want to make sure you click off first, and then we're going to insert our image. So remember, we go insert, image, search from the web. If you go to do this in your project and you forget any of these steps, remember you can come back and rewatch this part of the video. You don't have to rewatch the whole video, just fast forward and rewind to what you need to see. Okay, so now, because this is a poem about computers, I'm going to go through and look for a computer image that I want to use as my picture. So let's see. We're kind of using Chromebook laptop looking things. I'm going to click on one of those. I'm going to insert it in. And remember, you do want your cursor to be close to where you want it to go. Now, see where this says unable to create some images? If that ever happens, if you ever try to insert something and it gives you an error message, usually it's some sort of broken image. It's like a link is broken or something doesn't work. So you're going to need to just pick a different picture. That happens from time to time. So now I said, okay, that didn't work. So let's see what else I have. So now I'm going to scroll down some more. Let's see if I see another picture I like that I want to use. Here we go. That looks pretty cool. I'm going to use that one instead. And I'm going to click insert. All right, and that one works fine. So if you ever run into that issue, just pick a different picture. All right, so once your picture's in, we know we're going to resize it by only the corner handle, right? We're not using the width or the length because it's going to stretch and skew it. So we're going to grab this corner and drag it in so it stays proportional. And then we're going to change our text wrap, right? Right now we're in between the words. I want the text to wrap around my words. So I'm going to pick this middle button here. And then that allows me to drag this wherever I want it to be. So I'm going to stick it here. When I click off, now I can see how the words go around it. It's easy to read. And I'm going to leave it like that. My last step today is the title of the page. Remember, we're leaving the numbers like that. We're not messing with that, but I do want my title to be bigger and I want it to stand out. So I'm going to pick this thicker font. I'm going to make it a pretty big size and I'm going to make it a color that stands out like that. And maybe I'll underline it too. And there we go. So now I have my title here. So today, in order to be done this portion of your project, you need to make sure that you have changed all of your bold words. There's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You have to change all of the words using your thesaurus. Once you do that, you need to format your font. So that means changing the font, the size, and the color. And then you need to insert your image and change the text wrapping so that it fits on your poem well. And then if you have time, you can go ahead and just adjust your title here for the page so it looks good. And then tomorrow we'll move on to this one where we're writing our own poem about whatever you choose to write about. All right, if you have time left in the period, you can go ahead to typing.com. Remember, spending about 10 minutes a day will make a big difference in your ability to type. And as always, if you have any questions, leave me a comment in Classroom and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Good luck with the project.